My name is David Tabachnik. I've been here 17 years. I started coming here with knee pain that no other orthopedist or physical therapist could figure out. I worked with all the personal trainers and physical therapists here. I worked directly with Brian. We eventually found that there was an actual structural problem, but for a good 10 years before that, I was able to work out and perform and climb mountains because of the ADAPT training, even with real orthopedic problems, without pain. They turned me into an athlete from whatever I was before that. And then after the surgeries, they rehabbed me into even more of an athlete. Yeah, I came with knee pain that had nothing to do with my knees, but that's kind of what they specialize in, is figuring out weird cases that no one else can solve. So I had bilateral knee pain basically, and I needed 2 hip surgeries, but no one knew. My knees were fine. I just needed the right eyes, and they were definitely the right eyes to figure that out. This place was my 9th orthopedist, or 9th physical therapist. So it was 9 PTs and 6 or 7 orthopedists to figure out what was going on. So yeah, I tried a few places before we found ADAPT and settled here. I had actually had people refer me to sports psychologists. I had someone work on my breathing and pain tolerance and pain management, basically treating it like a chronic pain problem, or without saying the words, it's in your head, telling me that it's in my head. And that definitely wore on me. I had people tell me, well, why are you so focused on, why can't you just accept this? Which is hard for a 23-year-old to just accept that he has chronic knee pain. So it took some perseverance to not just accept their explanation. It was a little disheartening at times. The movement's definitely different. We're not using, especially early on, no one's telling you to do a squat with a bar. No one's throwing weights at you. It's all very slow to start with. They were so focused on range and making sure everything was moving correctly. Even when we couldn't figure out what was really the problem, they got me so structurally sound just moving that I was able to do big backpacking trips and such, because the movement sort of reinforces natural movement. So we're just moving our bodies in weird, strange ways, and we go out and hike. There was a lot less risk of injury. I wasn't worried about injuring myself. Whereas when all I was doing was going into a gym and moving weights, I wasn't stretching. I wasn't moving more naturally, and so I was getting injured all sorts of other ways, on top of the problems that were there. So it's a peace of mind thing. I could go and do my stuff without any worry of getting hurt again. Plus, the equipment's just weird. You're playing on a jungle gym. It's just a lot more fun. Coming to class is a joy because you're jumping up and down through bars, and I feel like I'm a kid again. Yeah, the outdoors are how I stay sane. So being able to keep doing that is everything to me. I work so much with computers and tech and connected, and hiking is a way to unplug from that. It's also a way to physically challenge myself and get way away from anything. So when I get hurt and have to take a few weeks off, and I come back here because this is what gets me back outside. This is a fundamental piece of that big mental health picture, because without this I can't keep doing what I do outdoors. Well, I just climbed a mountain in the Himalayas up to 20,000 feet, so we'll go with that. And then I'm climbing Rainier in 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, which I never would have considered. It's just different now. I've referred a lot of people here. A lot of people have simply seen where I was and what I do now, and I don't need to tell anybody anything. They know who I am and what I've done, and sometimes they'll come to me and say, "So what'd you do again?" Yeah, I've referred a lot of people here, but my body of work, as it were, speaks for itself. My friends know me as the guy who's had, I think it's 30-something MRIs now. Yeah, because there's always something, but these guys get me through it all. When anyone I know gets hurt, I can almost walk them through the mental space, the arc that they're going through. It's oh my God, this is never going to get better, and then day to day you don't see the improvement until all of a sudden, hey, you want to go for a hike? Yeah, I think I can, because you put the time in and put the work in. And, these routines, this approach gets you through it so quickly. They took me from really structurally unsound and hurt through that, and then through the surgeries, and then through another series of surgeries and a whole bunch of injuries to, it's just weird to say, but I'm in the best shape of my life at 42, which is unusual, uncommon, but that's what they do. Like, put in the work. I mean, it's really easy to give up hope and just say, well, this is how it is. If you can just, like, today I'm going to do the routine, and then the next day I'm just going to do all you do is every day you just do the routine, and in 2 or 3 weeks suddenly you've done the routine 25 times. They'll start to be very small bits of progress. Having rehab, a couple surgeries that took me 6 months to a year to recover from several times, I know that sometimes the light at the end of the tunnel is really faint. The plans that they give you here are they're so regimented, and they're regimented for a reason, and it doesn't look like you're doing a lot more than you did yesterday, but you are. Halfway through rehab, I look back at routine number 1 and thought, well, shoot, that's like nothing. But here I am, and that's the progress. But it's hard to see progress a little bit at a time. I get asked a lot, do you actually have to work out every day? That's how it works. Yes, I mean, do the routine every day. Build it into the flow of your day, and you find time. Just do the routine.